Hi, this is Shawn Lepp. I've been selling real estate for over 20 years. Our team of highly trained professionals, along with our marketing plan, has sold thousands of homes all over the Durham region market. And this is how we do it. Hi guys, welcome back. I thought I'd do this video on something simple as easy as just how to present an offer. A lot of things have changed now with e-signature. We used to always go to everyone's house, and now a lot of agents are sending offers in. And instead of giving us 24 hours, you're getting very short irrevocables on it. So the first thing I recommend is make sure you have the right amount of time to present to your client. And with that, make sure you go over the offer, even though you're emailing it out to them, whether you go in person or do it by the phone. And some of the quick highlights we always talk about when we grab an offer is, when I send it off to my client, the first thing is you want to make sure you're double checking that the legal description's right and the proper names are on there. We used to do this right in front of the clients and go over it. Now the first thing your clients are looking at is they're just jumping right to price, okay? And they're forgetting about other parts of the offer. So the first thing I recommend is when you call the client, send it over ahead of time, let them read it in case they have any major questions. And then I usually say, let's go over the offer, and I'll do a quick demonstration here. And the first thing I'll say to my sellers is, hi guys, I know the price is there. Let's come back to price. Let's start off with the deposit. So we go over the terms of the deposit. Then we're going to go over all the meat and potatoes of the offer before we come back to price, if you're okay with that. And then the first thing we go is we just look at how much time we have on the offer as far as the irrevocable. Then we say we'll come back to that as well as the closing date. So we skip over, and the first thing I tell my clients is let's make sure we look at the chattels first and make sure everything's okay in there. Okay, a lot of times we get caught up in looking at price and we forget about our fridge or a stove. Then we go over the fixtures excluded. We talk about the hot water tank being a rental. We talk about how there is no HST on most sales in Ontario unless it's land, but there is HST on the commission. You want to make sure your seller knows that so they figure out their net. Then as I flip over to the next page, I'll say, guys, we have the title search here. This is usually done 2 weeks before closing. It gives the purchaser's lawyer time to check title. And you want to make it approximately 2 weeks before closing. And then I tell them the next 2 pages are just the fine print of the offer. And what they do is they talk about in there is how they're going to close the property. They talk about that it is your property until closing, keep it in the same condition and everything else. We always talk about Family Law Act and make sure that everybody's properly doing the signatures. There's a lot of common law people out there now that are living together, so you do need to get their consent on spousal consent. Then I flip over to the signature page and I just say, here's where they've signed, and this makes it a legal registered offer. Talk is cheap. A lot of people will call you in and start trying to negotiate offers. You want to have it in writing, guys, and that's where I tell my clients, this is a serious offer. Whether we like the price or not, we should at least look it over and decide what to do. And then we go over to Schedule A. And on Schedule A, right here is where you go, this is where the meat and potatoes on. And this is where I make sure I read the conditions. And the quick standard ones, obviously, guys, are the buyer agrees to pay the balance of the purchase price subject to adjustments by bank draft or certified check on closing, and explain what that all means about how they prepaid taxes, they get that back, vice versa. And then there's usually a finance and home inspection in most of our offers these days, not always in a multiple, but on a standard offer, and I explain what that is and how long a home inspection takes and goes through that. And then each offer after that is pretty normal. You get a lot of the stuff with the grow ops in there. You get a lot of people asking about 2 revisits. If there's a survey clause, if I don't have a survey, I make sure I take that out. And those are your standard conditions, and then each offer will have something different. We always go over Schedule B quickly with them and explain what that is. And then obviously we talked either at the beginning or at the end about confirmation of co-op, and that all is about who's representing who, so I do make sure they understand that. If it's a multiple representation, I actually start off right with that and let them know this offer is coming from my team. But the biggest thing is, before you get into getting them to sign this, you want to make sure they understand the offer and not come back to you later and say, hey, you forgot to tell me about this or that. E-signature has made it a little less personal, where you got to sit down in front of them. So make sure you're still taking that time to go over the offer with them. And I hope that helps you guys today. If you guys have any questions about this or would like to talk more about it, my cell phone is 905-409-6778. Look forward to hearing from you.